One of the things that we have started as a tradition around here at Greenville Oaks is you've heard me use the phrase being a church that's for Collin County. And what that's meant in the past has been we want to be a church that is out serving, that is out making a difference, that is blessing the lives of our friends and our neighbors and those that we live with here and around Collin County. Our church is a Collin County church. We're not just Allen, we're Plano, we're McKinney, we're Frisco, we're Parker, we're Lucas, we're Fairview, we're Anna, we're all over Collin County. And so where our people are is where our church is. And so we've always wanted to be focused on making sure that we're not just a church that meets at 703 South Greenville Avenue, but we are the church throughout Collin County. Last year, if you remember, we had a big For Collin County initiative in which we challenged all of us to go out and find opportunities to serve and bless and make a difference and have an impact in the lives of people. And it was an incredible Sunday. We celebrated God's story after God's story after God's story of what He did with just a few dollars that we all took out and into the community. This morning, I want us to take some time to both celebrate and learn more about three particular community partners that Greenville Oaks has developed a relationship with. There's others out there, and we encourage you to find whatever passion and mission you feel called to be a part of and go and do and serve. But there's three in particular that I want to share with you all this morning. And so I'm going to invite a couple of my friends, Janet and Sharon, if you'll come up and join me here up on stage. And we're going to take some time to learn a little bit more about who Sharon and Janet are, and also another friend who's going to join us via the technology of multimedia in Epi Thurn. And so let's take some time and celebrate. Yeah, take one. And church, if you'll welcome Sharon and Janet for me, please, that'd be great. Thank you. There we go. All right, have a seat. All right, so here's what I want to do. This morning, our message is going to be a challenge to us all. And that is, I want you to sit back and I want you to listen to the prompting of your heart. Because I believe when we're done this morning, you're going to be convicted about the importance of making sure that we are doing something to affect change, to share love, to provide hope and encouragement in our community. The reality of it is whether we're dealing with a tragic devastating loss like happened yesterday afternoon, or we're dealing with domestic violence, abuse against women and children, or the reality of the brokenness of homelessness that's so prevalent in our community. Our world, our community needs us to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. And so that's what this morning is all about. So good morning to you and good morning to you. Janet, we'll start with you. Introduce yourself and share just a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so honored to be here to share. I never, ever miss an opportunity to share about what God is doing through Agape. So I'm the founder and executive director of Agape Resource and Assistance Center, and it is a transitional housing program that is just almost straight down Greenville, turns into Avenue K in Plano. And we started it 10 years ago. This is our 10-year birthday. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday.
And thank you. It came out of my story, my journey. I'm a Methodist pastor. This is my second career. I'm a CPA, fraud investigator, all that kind of stuff. And about 15, 17 years ago, something like that, God said, I've got something else for you to do. And that's a whole long story, but not important right now. But I ended up in a Methodist church in West Plano, and we saw that there was a need for hunger, so we started a food pantry. And I was talking to the people in the food pantry, and I came to know that I didn't know there was hunger, poverty, homeless, severe abuse. I'd raised my kids in Plano, and I just didn't know that. I didn't see it. My eyes weren't open. But in working with those people in the pantry, I learned that hunger was just was a symptom of a much, much bigger problem, many more bigger problems. And I did some research, and I found out that there were over 5,000 people, and that was about 2010, over 5,000 people being turned away from the handful of transitional housing agencies in Collin County, and that there was no emergency shelter, and there still is not one to this day, and I doubt there will be one anytime soon. But what I learned was 75% of those that were being turned away were women and children, and they had nowhere to go. And what I found is a great deal of those were abused women and children who were fleeing or trying to rebuild their lives. And so they had nowhere to go. And so just answering another call, I stepped out on faith and started Agape, and we provide housing and support services for homeless women. About 95% of them are abuse survivors, women and their children.
Thank you. All right, we're going to get into a little bit more about the work and the ministry and the mission of Agape in just a couple of minutes. Thanks again for being here. Sharon, introduce yourself and share a little bit about who you are and Hope Restored.
Awesome. I am Sharon Gray. I am a case manager as well as a board member. I serve as vice president for Hope Restored Missions. What we do is we work with the homeless population. We realized that there was a need all over, actually, for homelessness solutions. And so we got involved. It was placed on the heart of our servant leader, Miss Tamara Monroe, to do something in the community to help. So Miss Monroe, myself, and 2 other servant leaders came together and formed Hope Restored Missions. The city of Plano was looking for an organization to tackle this problem. And so we stepped up to the plate, and we ended up there at 1947 K Avenue. We started in 2019, just trying to help 16 people get housed. And after that, we ended up with over 1,300 people that needed shelter. So you can see that this problem is widespread, and we're doing all that we can to try and combat this. There are so many challenges that they have to face. ID procurement being the #1 problem. They're being chased all across the city from location to location to location. And when I say chase, I mean they're being disbanded. Their encampments are being disbanded. So they lose these documents, these critical documents. And without these documents, they cannot get housing, they cannot get a job, they cannot get even a hotel without their documents. So this is one of the biggest challenges that we face in trying to help them. Today, what we do is help them in getting other things taken care of as well, because those are not the only challenges. They come in with immediate needs that need to be addressed. So they need things like food, clothing, phone service, access to a computer so that they can apply for jobs, things of that nature. And we at Hope Restored Missions, that's what we do. We try to address those immediate needs.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to hearing more about what you guys do in just a moment. I want to introduce you to the third person of our panel discussion who's not able to be here this morning, but Epi Thurn, who is with the Shiloh Place ministry. So watch this video. Hey, Greenville Oaks, it's Matt here, and I'm excited to be here with my friend Epi, who helps lead the Shiloh Place ministry here in McKinney, and I'm excited to share with you all the incredible things that they do here for you to have a chance to learn a little bit more about Shiloh Place. Hey, Epi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks for joining me. I want you to introduce yourself to Greenville Oaks and just share a little about who you are and the role you play and what's going on here.
Sure. So I am Epi Thurn. I am the CEO of Shiloh Place and just trying to be a humble servant, moving this ministry forward, honestly.
I love it. I love it. How long have you been a part of Shiloh Place?
I've been a part from the very beginning.
Okay.
So I was one of the founders. Myself and another couple, we honestly were not intending to start a nonprofit. In various ways, we had been involved in single motherhood, counseling at a crisis pregnancy center, or experiencing experiencing single motherhood to some extent. And it really, as we were counseling at the Crisis Pregnancy Center, what we really realized was these women were choosing life, which is beautiful, but then going home to what? Oftentimes it was abusive situations or crisis situations, abandoned buildings, or they were going to end up living in their cars.
What is the mission of Shiloh Place? What are you guys trying to do?
Right. So Shiloh Place's mission is to come alongside single moms who are homeless or at risk of homelessness, and over the course of up to 2 years, give them the resources they need to get off the merry-go-round and the opportunities to put in the hard work, do the hard work of being able to radically change their lives and create a new trajectory for them moving forward. So for us, what that looks like is we provide housing, we pay for childcare, and we provide all the case management and counseling that wraps around a mom in all ways. But kind of the key to our program is our education. All of our moms are full-time students, and so we pay for all their education expenses. But we don't want to stop with money. We all know that the root cause of poverty is not money, one way or the other.
Yeah.
The root cause of poverty is broken relationship, primarily with God. So we want to bring the full wraparound of everything a mom needs. So we have Christian counseling for the mom, play therapy for the kiddos. We walk hand in hand with them in every aspect of their life.
You think most come from Collin County, outside of Collin County, outside of the state?
Almost all come from Collin County.
Really?
Collin County has a reputation for being extremely affluent. And if you look at the Texas stats, it's the 4th wealthiest county in the entire state of Texas. Which when you think of all the oil money in Texas, it's kind of surprising. But McKinney has a food desert. McKinney has a food desert. When you think of 20,000, 40,000 people that can't even get to a grocery store in McKinney, that's surprising.
Yeah.
And single mother homelessness looks very different than Dallas homelessness.
Hey, Greenville Oaks, it's Matt here, and I'm excited to...
I'm still here. I am still here. I am. Okay, Janet, share with us the mission, the very intentional, specific mission of Agape.
Okay, so Agape provides safe, stable housing and key transformational support services that empower a homeless single woman, mom, and her children to move out of poverty and crisis and homelessness into safe, stable, fulfilling lives. In other words, we provide home, help, and hope.
Thank you. Thank you. Sharon, what is the mission of Hope Restored?
Well, Hope Restored Missions, what we're trying to do also is to provide safe, stable housing as well. We're trying to help them, walk them through the process to stability. Yeah. So that may encounter different aspects of what we need to do. Our goal is to get them stable once they do obtain housing. So one other thing that I didn't mention, that as a case manager, I work on the front end as well as the back end of getting them housed. Okay. What I do is I work with Housing Forward in order to put them into housing. And then I also go out and do inspections. I also talk to landlords and do landlord engagements. I'm working both ends of it. So we're actually trying to work with stabilization of the clients.
So you heard me ask Epi in there about the women that they serve. Where do they come from? Because one of the things I think that we struggle with in Collin County is this sort of stigma. We don't really have a lot of issues, and this church has talked about that, and we've addressed that. We know that's a myth, and that's not a reality. We have issues and challenges within our community here, but where do the moms and the women that you come in contact with come from? Where are they?
So they predominantly come out of Collin County. They either are referred from another agency, like Hope Restored Mission, or a faith group. A faith group is a big resource for us. They are sometimes referred from police. They're sometimes referred from another agency where they were maybe like Hope Store, where they were abused and they become stable, but now they need the services to transform their lives, so they come to us. But more and more, the older we get, the more of them come as directly. They find us on the website, they find us through word of mouth, and they call us directly. What folks don't understand, I mean, I think you guys do, but what folks that are this problem of homelessness is just dawning on them is, if there's homeless, then where are they? A few years ago, they weren't very obvious in Collin County. That's changing too. But where we found most of our moms were staying was in extended stay hotels. And those were very dangerous for their kids because they were latchkey kids. I think I have a picture of a bus parked out in front of an extended stay hotel that I took myself, and that bus was right down here, and we had 3 women come out of that hotel. So they're everywhere, and they are trying very hard to get help.
Same question to you, Sharon.
Yes, they're coming from all over. Yes, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
They're coming from all over. They are referred to by other agencies. The police sometimes bring them by there. And then by word of mouth, our agency information has been spread throughout the community. So they just say that they heard about us. We had a lady that called from Tennessee and said, we heard about you guys and what you guys were doing, and we need help.
Yep.
So, like I said, word of mouth is being spread.
Yeah,
yes.
For sure. One of the things that our community care team that works here at Greenville Oaks, that serves families, without a doubt, the number one issue that they are struggling with and having to try to help people with is housing instability issues. And whether it's just trying to stay in their home or helping with bills or all that, I mean, it is clearly becoming the predominant issue within our community, at least that we're seeing, and you guys seem to be alluding to that as well. So one of the things I want you guys to have a chance to do is to share a little bit about some of the needs and opportunities that our church could maybe step into to be a part of. Because one of the things we want to challenge all of us is to find ways to go and serve beyond the walls of our church building and to be a part of the community service. And so, Janet, share with us some things that are ways that you think Greenville Oaks or somebody sitting in the chairs this morning could be a part of with you.
There are so many. I'm just going to try to stick to 4 or 5, because if you think about what you need to get through your day, the women that come to us don't have those things. So, do they have food? We get them connected to food pantries. Do they have a car? 50% of them don't have a car. So we have a loaner car fleet. I call it a fleet, there's 2 or 3 of them, but to us that's big, that we allow them to borrow, but then they need gas, so they need gas cards. They need a job, so if you're an employer, would you work with us? We have an education to employment program. Would you work with us to help them get in at a grassroots level? Would you work with us to tell us, what do you need in your employers? And we send them to school, we pay their scholarships, we get the computers to get them into a vocation that they can go upward. Our focus is a 2-generational family also. So all of our moms, their moms, they have kids with them. We have probably 19 or 20 kids at Agape right now, which is a big number for us. They have been displaced. They have been drug around, not in the same school. They need help with tutoring. We need help with childcare so moms can go to work and go to school and go to counseling and go to casework. So our kids are a huge thing that we're pouring into. We're also about to expand. We're about to, hopefully, prayerfully, add 4 units that we're going to remodel an office building into 4 units. We could use your help doing that. If you can paint, we could use your help. If you could demolish, we can use your help. So there's not really anything that you don't do or need in your life that we don't need as well.
Love it. I love it. Love it. Sharon?
Right. We could use your help as well. We have been so blessed by Greenville Church of Christ, Greenville Oaks Church of Christ, to have had 3 of your volunteers, to 3 of your members to volunteer with us faithfully. Yeah. Forgive me, I'm just kind of nervous.
That's all right.
Forgive me.
You do great.
But Miss Shirley Wilson, Miss Donna Tant, and Miss Gail Sutherland have been faithful volunteers for us. We have monthly outreaches and we could use your help. You could come out to volunteer for that. We're involved in the community, very much so. Actually, we place people into hotels sometimes. It depends on what the situation is, and they're needing hotel stays. We've had a situation where it was a mother and her mother, as well as her 3 kids and dog. They lived in a car. Well, her mother needed medical attention. She needed, she was diabetic, and she stayed there in the car. But the mother that came into our office, she said, if I just had a place where I could take them to while I work, then I can make some money and then pay for the hotel myself. Yeah. However, she didn't have the funding to do this. So we could use money to help with situations like that, situations that are dire. Yeah. And we know we can't help everybody in a hotel, but there are situations that are needed. So we're asking for your help.
Thank you, thank you. All right, I want you to watch the second half of my interview with Epi Thurn.
So how many people live here on site right now?
We have 6 apartments for moms here on site, and then we also have an on-site supervisor.
So you're full right now. Every spot you have here is full. Okay. You've shared with me about some visions and some big dreams that you have for expanding Shiloh Place. Share with me a little bit about that exciting news.
Yes, so just over a year ago, we bought 4 acres from the community in order to expand. And so we've been planning and working it out, getting ready, but we're going to add 16 apartments and a program building so we can have on-site programming, and we will ultimately triple our capacity.
So what's the time frame? What are you hoping to actually?
Well, we are hoping to finish out our capital campaign by the end of the summer and break ground in early fall. Okay.
Share with us a little bit about some of the more the specifics about some of the services and programs that you provide and things that you are excited about this new campus being able to allow you to do that maybe you're not able to do now.
So what we provide right now is we pay for all of their housing expenses. Moms pay $50 a month in rent. And then we pay for all of their child care expenses. Those are the 2 big expenses that any mom has. Because what we really want a mom to do is zero in on getting that advanced education. And then we pay for all of their education, tuition, fees, books, everything. We want to remove every roadblock that a mom has to be able to jump up to that next level. But we teach faith and finances, boundaries, parenting, forgiveness. We do the same classes every year. So if a mom is here for the full 2 years, she hears everything twice. Then our moms are in counseling, and our kids have play therapy if they're old enough to need it. And then we really do extensive case management here. We just really want to wrap around and dive deep for each mom. We have 1 case manager for every 6 women. That's how we can get so deep with our moms. As we're moving forward into the new facility, I'm really excited. We're going to continue everything we do now. But because we'll have program space on our new campus, it'll make it easier. Moms can literally walk out their door and into class and then put their kids right back to bed. Put their kids to bed as soon as they're done.
That's right. What are some things that if someone was interested in being a part of Shiloh Place that they could do?
So right now, it's the full gambit. It is everything from pouring into the kids on Tuesday nights in a consistent way, serving a meal on a Tuesday night, to helping with landscaping, and it's really, what are you feeling passionate about? And that we can find a way to connect your passion with our mission.
Okay. Is there a story or a mom that stands out to you that exemplifies the incredible work that God's doing in and through Shiloh Place that you could share with our people?
She was in her late 30s and didn't believe in herself at all. She knew that education was part of our project, part of our requirements, and that she would need to be a full-time student. And she said, I want to do whatever it takes, but to be very transparent with you, I barely graduated from high school. I wasn't a good student, and that was 20 years ago. After her first semester of Collin College, she went into cybersecurity. After her first semester, she said, "Oh, I gotta tell you, I just got my report card. I have 4.0.
Oh, that's awesome.
It has like tears running down her face, and she's like, I think this is the first time in my life I've ever been proud of myself. Her new employer and the college gave her a full ride scholarship to finish out a bachelor's degree while she's working full time. And within a year of graduating from Shiloh, she was making a 6-figure income. And at this point, she's bought her own house, and her children are thriving. And this mom graduated less than 3 years ago.
Wow.
She already has a house and a sustainable income. Is plugged into a church. Her kids are growing up in the Lord.
All right, Janet, as we close, I want you to share a story that's happened through Agape.
So we were probably maybe 2 or 3 years old, and we had this young woman come to us, and she had had a really rough life up to that point in time and had made some wrong decisions, some poor choices. She was not when she came to us, but in her life, she had been an active meth user. She had gotten pregnant, and she decided to keep the baby, which we loved. And at that moment, when she made that decision, she cold turkey quit. However, when she actually had the child, CPS took the child away, and she was working through the CPS program, had a wonderful foster family that was helping teach her how to be a mom, and she needed a safe, stable place to live so that she could get her son back. And so she came to Agape at that point. Now, she was working at Dunkin' Donuts, not very many hours a week. She had a car, but didn't really know how to do life. So we took her in, totally on faith, and over the years, we helped her get an education. She got a certification in CAD drawing with us. She also had a record. She had a felony that she was working through with us to expunge it. So we helped her get a job in an architectural firm. And she did get her son back within 6 weeks of moving in with us. And so after a year and a half, she had a higher paying job. Instead of $15 an hour, she was making $45,000 with a 401k, and had a job and had an apartment and was ready to graduate on her own. And that was fabulous, and I love her. But what's really exciting to me, all that is actually really exciting to me, but 3 weeks ago I was at my grandson's soccer game. And, I'm a soccer grandma, and I was looking at all the kids, and I saw this one kid over in the goal, and I swear that I know that kid. And so pretty soon I looked around and I see this mom and I go, I know that mom. And it was her son was on my grandson's soccer team, and she had gotten married, and they had bought a house over in Little Elm. And as she says, I was doing all the things. I was living life. And she says, let me be a mentor to your women, because I need to tell them to hang on. When she came to us, she was not a believer. She was very agnostic. When she left, she was full believer in bringing other people.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that story. That's awesome. Sharon, share with us a story. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's fabulous. I love it. Sharon.
Yes, we had a mother and her daughter that were living in a car. The mother needed a surgery, and she needed a place to recover. So we were able to get her housed. Once she had her surgery and she recovered, she was able to get 2 jobs. And I talked to her last week. She said, Miss Gray, I got it now. I can handle it now. So she's working and taking care of her family and doing well.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. So here's the thing. I want to wrap us up, and we're at our time this morning. But whether it's Shiloh Place or Hope Restored or Agape or some other incredible community partner that is out there on the front lines doing great kingdom work, Greenville Oaks, I hope that we will never stop being a church that is for our community. We don't come to this place to sit in these chairs to think about ourselves and what we want and what we need and what we hope for and what... That's not the church that I believe our Savior died for. I believe the church that he created was a church that wanted to go and be in the world, sharing the love and the grace and the mercy, being his hands and feet. And so that is the calling for us today. You don't need me and you don't need this church to facilitate everything that you go out and do. You have the ability to go and make an impact in the name of Jesus Christ. And so whether you partner with one of these partners or somebody else, that's not as important as the fact that you accept the calling and the mission to go and be the hands and feet of Jesus. Let's stand and as we prepare to close this morning. I want us to read this together as we have many, many times before. Read this with me, please. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. God bless you all and have a great week. Thank you. Thank you.